Could this become the best case of the year? I really do believe it has a chance to be, just based on Eugene Carbureski's inclusion alone. If you guys don't know, the tank coat racer from Cars 1, Eugene Carbureski, has become the rarest Cars 1 racer, the most expensive and the most elusive, and now is the final racer left to be released from the first movie from Thailand. And again, that is excluding Mac Icar and Dale Earnhardt Jr. because we really don't believe those to be realistic options left on the table. But Tank Coat absolutely is, and he is inside this box. And now he won't be quite as rare and expensive anymore. Everyone's going to have a chance to get him hopefully here. So yeah, guys, let's dive into unboxing 2025 Singles Case X. I don't mean to overshadow some of the other stuff in this case, which I think is actually pretty cool. Some race and rescue stuff, some other nice inclusions. We'll get to it all. I'm not even sure of all what's in this case. As per usual, it's going to be a mystery. You and me both going through this car by car, all 24 of them. 95D just means 2025, and X indicates what exact 24 cars are in this box. If you want to follow along, the description will have those contents. And when the half case contents become known and available, basically the Walmart version of this case, that is half, 12 cars only, I will add those to the description as well. So, and that applies to all my previous videos, reveals and unboxings of cases. I put both the full case contents and the half case contents in the description as they become available. So with Walmart cases this year, I was not given those directly from my source. And so we're just kind of learning as those cases are found in the store. I just found case V myself actually and was able to confirm those contents in that video's description. So if you want to check that out, feel free to do so. Oh man, they put good stuff on both ends, so I don't know where we should even start, guys. Oh man, this is going to be tough. You know what? We're going to have to do this. I'm sorry. But you know the rule on the channel, we save the best for last. However, we're coincidentally also starting with some pretty good stuff. First up, race and rescue, rally race, whatever you want to call him, Chick Hicks. This is his second case after being 2 per case in case V. So nothing too crazy. He's also in a 2-pack with rally race Lightning McQueen. So it hasn't been hard for me to find, although that 2-packs case has been very rare. I've only seen a handful of them. The single has been pretty common at Target and Walmart. But yeah, this is one of the better releases of the year. For me personally, is probably going to be top 10, maybe even higher, maybe top 5. But the bar is not very high, right? I mean, the bar is literally like Jonathan Gearson and Masha Elsdrench, which in my opinion are not even some of the best releases. Like, they probably wouldn't make top 10s in other years. They would not make a 2016 top 10, or let alone a 2010 top 10. But on the back, we have some of the older race and rescue releases now. McQueen, Mater, and Sarge. I've actually had pretty good luck. I don't know about you guys. Let me know in the comments. Finding all 3 of these. The one that has proven to be very difficult is Red. So he'll stay that way. I'm just going to say Red's going to be pretty rare. Jackson probably going to get a little overlooked, but still not as hard to find as Red, and Sarge being the easiest of the 3 in case W. McQueen, very easy to find, and Mater has become easier after his inclusion in case W. So back to back for him in V and W, Chick getting the V and X treatment. And I'm sure there is a McQueen in this case somewhere. But before we get to him, we have a new racer joining the rally race bunch, the Radiator Springs rally race, and that is Cruz Ramirez. Looking pretty solid. Now, I do have a prototype of her that I've been showing off in a bunch of my videos, and by showing off, I don't mean bragging, I just mean showing you guys her because she's been relevant to the conversation. And now I'll finally have a non-prototype version, one that doesn't have the code on there, and I could put this one in the display and not have to worry about her. because she has been putting in some good service time that most prototypes don't do. She's been on the table for so many of these videos, and now this one will serve that purpose. But yeah, I think she looks all right. I don't think she's going to be one of my favorites. I'm not overly fond of her design, but once we review her, maybe I'll change my mind a little bit. I do like the mixed wheels. I wish they just changed up her paint job a little bit more, maybe added some more red. I think that would look kind of cool. Maybe make it a little bit more like the Rust-eze paint job of Cars 3. But you have 51 there in the corner. I like that. New for 2025. This is her Dynaco Cruz artwork that has been repurposed. You do have Cruz Ramirez down there. I love how they never forget the accent mark on the I in Ramirez. But they forget so many other things. Oh, here we go. New card back. You have McQueen, Chick, and Sarge, and Red and Jackson Storm. So they have almost everybody, actually. They're missing Mater and everyone from the 2-packs, and they're also missing the other new Race and Rescue cars in this case. But yeah, Sarge, Red, and Jackson, all case W. McQueen, Chick, case V. McQueen is in all of them now. I think I mentioned that in another video that he's in all the remaining cases for the year, just like how GRC Lightning McQueen was in 2024. But yeah, pretty happy about her, although she probably will be toward the bottom in my ranking of all the Race and Rescue stuff, which I will do toward the end of the year, just like I did with the GRCs. Here we have Billy Oilchanger, the Octane Gain Racer. I love how excited I sound, but I'm really not. Although I will say this guy is not peg-warmed as much as like Ernie Gearson, which is crazy because he was new to 2025 as a Thailand variant, just like Eugene Carbureski. I mean, he was no different. He was not as expensive, but it was his first time being released from Thailand, as is Eugene Carbureski's. But anyways, there's been some other piston cut racers worse than Billy. Not to say Billy hasn't been bad, but I guess we're just kind of, what's the word? Cutting hairs? Splitting hairs. There it is. There it is. Oh, this one's a little crunchy on the corner. Oh, well. Not that it matters all that much to me. Yeah, Dave alternators in Winford, Bradford, Rutherford here on the back have been peg warming as well. You have Sheriff, Sally, McQueen, and Fillmore. So a nice nostalgic Cars 1 bunch. Lovely. All right. Oh, yeah, here we go, guys. This is going to be a very rare release. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm going to make a prediction as well that in about a year, this might be a $30 car on eBay or Cars, because it's Luigi and Guido Race and Rescue. Really cool. Really exciting here. Now, I mean, again, the bar this year is lower. So when I say really cool, really exciting, if you put that in perspective to the entire Cars line, it's not. If you put that in perspective 2025, it is. Yeah, because I think this is better than a lot of the other stuff we've gotten this year. I love Guido with the fireman's hat there. And we just have to take everything relative at this point. We can't still compare to 2010. Be like, oh my God, it's not as good as that case with Race Damage Mood Springs, J Limo, and Duffer X. Like, yeah, we know. Unfortunately, we don't live in that era anymore. Everything is relative to the time and place. And the time and place now is Race and Rescue, some Piston Cup variants, and Jonathan Gearson. That's the context that we live in. And I think, according to that context, this is a really good release. I love how they did Luigi and Guido and incorporated them into the line. The only thing I'm not super fond of is the flag, but maybe again, once I open them up, I will change my mind. But I think Guido looks great. I think it's very creative that they put the hat on him. And so yeah, I will be reviewing them soon along with Cruz. Big old choking hazard there. But actually, they kept it pretty contained. I like the white trim that they put around it. New for 2025. Nice photoshopping here. Honestly, I have to give them credit. They did this pretty seamlessly, putting the hat there on Guido and the flag. Looks pretty natural, because this is just Luigi and Guido's normal artwork. And on the back, the card back is exactly the same as Cruz Ramirez's, which is a little weird. They should have put Cruz on this one and put Luigi and Guido on Cruz's, but I digress. All right. Oh my God. No. No, no, no. Oh my God. Guys, there are so many stores across the country right now. I've seen people posting online. I've seen videos. I've seen my own stores that have pegs dedicated to Ernie Gearson. Just straight pegs full of him. That means like 9 Ernie Gearsons, maybe even more. It's not good. This is just god-awful decision making. What the hell is Mattel thinking? Maybe they already like determined, all right, Ernie Gearson, yeah, new Thailand variant. Everyone's going to love him. He'll fly off the shelves. Let's put 2 in like 3 cases this year. Let's put him in overall like 6 cases. I mean, I think, is that the number? Maybe he's doubled up on in just 2 cases, but I'm pretty sure he's in total 5 or 6 cases this year, which is absurdity. You can't double up on a character that you already doubled up on and that you had then released before that, like 2 cases prior. And this guy was in the 2nd case of the year. Oh my God. This is pitiful. I'm sorry, guys, but you can't do this. This is, Target is going to love this when they see this blue bastard come around again. And they're like, oh no, the employees probably have gotten to know Ernie quite well over the last few months, because I'm sure they're the ones that pick up the scraps of Ernie that are lying on the shelf and put him on his own designated peg. Oh my God. I mean, this is a good variant. I was very excited about him. People do like him. A lot of people tuned in for my video on him, but just no one cares anymore. I mean, he's old news, guys, and it's fine to put 1 in a case every now and again, but the amount of Ernies they've put in cases, and again, I'm just going to ballpark, but I think my guess on how many Ernies they've had in cases this year is like 9 or 10, which if you think about it, it's pretty absurd. I mean, for a non-main character, like Lightning McQueen, just regular Cars 1 Lightning McQueen, for example, he's probably like in all 12 cases, if not maybe like 11. And he's probably just 1 per case, because then they put multiple of another McQueen in there or whatever. So to have that many Ernie Gearsons throughout your cases is, it's head scratching. I don't get it. I really don't get it. If anything, you release Eugene Carbureski earlier on and then have him be the one you double up on so much, but whatever. Here we have Road Trip Lightning McQueen. So, yeah. I mean, honestly, at this point, kind of a relief. No, I'm just kidding. It's another one that, I mean, it's whatever. We understand why you're releasing him so much, but if you're going to give us so many Road Trip Lightning McQueens, then give us some more Road Trip characters. Like, I would love to see Barney Cones or Margaret Motorray back in a case, but instead, you know what they do? They're like, yeah, we'll give you the one that's like, this only costs us like 2 pennies to actually manufacture. Nile Speedcone. We're not giving you Margaret Motorray, who's actually like 30 cents to manufacture. I'm just making up numbers, guys, but honestly, I do believe some of that is actual thought process for Mattel, because Nile Speedcone is, yeah, it's like very small, not much metal, and yet sells for the same price as everybody else. It kind of is like a cheat code. Oh, Nile. I like Nile, but he's just been overproduced over the last couple of years. He had the accessory 2-pack, multiple single releases now. But yeah, I mean, I would love to see Barney Cones or Margaret Motorray, even Logan Gearsall back. I just don't know why they put them in the early cases, and that was it. They like put Logan in 2 cases, Barney and Margaret only in the first case of the year, and they're like, okay, we're done. We're done with Cars on the Road. No one likes Cars on the Road. I kind of do, though. I want more characters from it. Here we have Fillmore. See, now Fillmore is maybe 3 or 4 times as heavy as Nile Speedcone. I mean, that's just crazy how much more metal goes into this guy. Like, he's really, really hefty. As I've always said, never going to complain about a Fillmore. Nice VW bus, too. It's a happy VW bus right there. He's not worrying about peg warming. On the back, you have Dave Alternators, Davey Apex, whatever, Sheriff, Sally McQueen, Winford, Bradford, Rutherford, and Slim Hood. Which one doesn't belong? Well, it's Slim Hood. He doesn't actually appear in Cars 1. But he doesn't really appear in Cars 3. To be fair. But let's be real, though. That's where he was intended to. Like, that's his home, is Cars 3. But he's not actually shown in Cars 3, which is kind of a funny little loophole for Mattel. Here we have Darrell Cartrip. So I think this is his third case of the year after debuting in Case Q. Totally fine with that. I like Darrell quite a bit. And I learned that I really like the Thailand variant of him when I reviewed him in, I think, January. Yeah. It's a lot lighter than the Chinese version. Decals look pretty crisp. Very nice. A lot of damaged cards in this case here. On the back, you have Floyd Mulvihill, Jonathan Wrenchworth, Donna Pitts, Lightning McQueen with Rusty sign, Doc Hudson, and Claude Scruggs. So a nice Cars 1 bunch there. Speaking of Cars 1, you have 2 Doc Hudson. Wow. When's the last time they doubled up on Doc Hudson? I know you guys are probably going to comment, they just doubled up on him like 3 cases ago, Mr. Dockett. I don't remember. I know they've doubled up on the King a couple times this year, which feels similar to Doc, but actually putting 2 of Doc in the case is pretty great. I mean, for a licensed model, Hudson Hornet, very popular character, this is not a bad decision at all. I think this is something I can get behind for sure. Just look how clean and elegant that looks. I mean, he is as old as the movie itself, but it never gets old to see him. I love Doc. It'll be interesting to see how they celebrate the 20th anniversary next year. Maybe they'll just be like, we're going to put... What if they just released like all the original Desert cars again and designated as such? What if they were like, okay, instead of like expanded universe this year, it's basically like a 2006 throwback series. So they just release everybody from the Desert. So you get McQueen, Sally, Mater, Fillmore, Doc, Snot Rod Boost, DJ, Wingo, Red, Stanley, Tractor, Luigi, Guido, Ramon, Flo, Sarge, Sheriff, Dynaco McQueen, who else? Green Ramon, Lizzie. I probably missed 1 or 2, but yeah, well, if they just released all those again, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Even though none of them would be like new, or would any of those besides like Dynaco McQueen even be a new Thailand variant? I don't think so. Huh. Watch Mattel actually do that. But anyways, 2 Doc Hudsons. Fine by me. Fine by me. Oh, guys, I see it. Do you guys see what I see? Cardboard flap. The Chase cardboard flap. Only 1 per case. Comprised of less than 1% of the assortments. Flat on one side. Slitted on the other side. I mean, this is just, wow. One of my favorites I've seen yet, to be honest. All right, moving right along here, we have 1 Jackson Storm, a Dusty Jackson Storm. Not much to say here, but he's definitely taken a little bit of a backseat as a peg warmer. He still sits around, but not as much as he used to back in the day. Those black wheels actually look pretty cool, I will say. I don't know why they're standing out to me today more than usual, but they just look kind of nice. How lonely. To be the pioneer, to be the first Cars 3 release of the year, means you have to sit and live alone on the card back for the whole year. Here we have 1 Ryan Shields. So Ryan is also proven not to be super rare right off the bat. Like, this was his first release in Case W. Now he's back in Case X here. That's not a good sign. That indicates to me some Piston Cup racer fatigue. It's like, okay, yeah, he's a new Thailand variant. We just don't really care anymore. It's like, you've given us so many Piston Cup racers that even when we get a new one like this, we're so numb that we either like forget that this is new, we don't realize it's new, or we just don't care anymore. We're just so tired of it. I don't know, but he's been easier to find than I thought he would be. And yeah, we'll see how Eugene is. I think he'll be pretty, coveted just because Tank Coat is a way better sponsor. I want to say objectively, but it's all subjective. But a lot of people subjectively agree that Tank Coat is one of the better sponsors. Unfortunately, Viewzine not deemed as such, but still really cool. I reviewed this guy over a month ago now. And yeah, I've had no problem finding him. Hopefully you guys feel the same. And we'll see when Case W hits Walmart, which it has not yet. But I would assume this guy will be included in that case, that half case. Darrell Cartrip, Mario Andretti, Dexter Hoover with Green Flag, all from Case Q originally. Christina Whelan and Pit Crew Sarge from Case R. And then Lightning McQueen with Shovel from Case T. So again, a nice Cars 1 bunch here. Very nostalgic. Then we have two of everyone's favorite Lightning McQueen, Rust-eze Lightning McQueen. Oh, almost as bad as Ernie Gearson. Nah, this is probably worse. You know what, though? I don't know if it's worse. Because I don't see full pegs of Rust-eze Lightning McQueens. Let me know, though. Whereas I do see full pegs of Ernie Gearsons and other piston car racers. But I don't know if I've ever seen a store accumulate as many Rust-eze Lightning McQueens to the point where they're like making one peg just for him. I don't know. And it speaks to a theory, I came up with earlier on in the year after I went abroad to Spain and realized the main characters are actually some of the most popular characters. I didn't see a single Lightning McQueen at all in Spain. Nor did I see like a Mater or a Sally. The most main character I saw was like Sheriff. All right. We're not done with McQueen's, not even close. Here we have one Lightning McQueen with Rust-eze sign. I think this is either his third or fourth case of the year, so nothing too crazy, but at least they didn't include the regular Cars 1 Lightning McQueen because, yeah, as I always say, this is exactly the same as regular Cars 1 Lightning McQueen, but you get the bonus plastic sign, so you should always opt to buy this over the regular one. Parents, I'm talking to you. All right. Yeah, not great on the card conditions in this case. Hopefully, it's just mine and it's not like all case X's, because I would like to have a mint Eugene Carbureski at some point in my life. Here we have Winford, Bradford, Rutherford, RPM, number 64. Really popular racer at one point, and he still is, but we're just tired of seeing him every day of our lives. When I first reviewed this guy's Thailand variant in like 2022, I think it was, it got a lot of views. I mean, all the Piston Cup Racer videos kind of do when I first review them, but Winford, I think, might have gotten like 100,000, which is crazy. There's no business getting that many views, considering he's been out for forever. But anyways, I'll take it. You know what I'll also take is this. Great re-inclusion here. Jonathan Gearson, the only new character of the year that actually appears in any media, because Masha Elsrange doesn't. We have to remember that. Masha Elsrange doesn't appear in anything. She's just a made-up character at the end of the day. Jonathan Gearson, however, actually appears in Cars on the Road. So you have a lot of things going for you, Jonathan. You're the only new Cars on the Road release. You're the only new character, really, that appears in anything. You're in your second case now after debuting in Case S. You're a BMW licensed model. Jonathan Gearson, definitely top 10, but probably would not have been in other years. But, yeah. Why do I think she looks kind of different? I don't know. Maybe it's because I haven't seen her in a while, but she looks a little different to me for whatever reason. Yeah, not bad at all. I'm excited that she's back to give everyone another opportunity to get this new character. Even though people have qualms about the color and the name and all that stuff, it's a new die cast, which, yeah, kind of few and far between these days, at least outside of Expanded Universe series, which are just ripe of new releases. Glow Racers and NASCAR and Race and Rescue. And on the back, we have some other cool Cars on the Road characters like Chris Freightman, who they should probably put in another case, and Cave Mater, who they probably should put in another case. They've put plenty of Cryptobuster McQueens throughout the cases. Not many of the others, though. All right, good stuff there. We're going to ignore you now for just 2 more seconds while we battle through some more Lightning McQueens, being Race and Rescue this time. Yeah, so like I said, he's going to be with us for the remainder of the year, case V and onward. So that's V, W, X, Y, and Z. And yeah, some of the cases he will be doubled up on. Cases, I don't remember case W, but case V he was definitely doubled up on, and he is doubled up on here again. But it could be worse, guys. Let's remember when GRC Lightning McQueen debuted in case H last year, there were 3 of him. But yeah, no. I like this McQueen. Not that bad. And he hasn't pegwormed yet. I'm sure he will, though. I am sure he will. GRC Lightning McQueen only escaped pegwarming just because Target never really got in any of those cases last year. So, really helped him. Saved his case. I don't think Race and Rescue McQueen will be able to avoid that fate, though. But yeah. I do like his design. I can't deny it. I can get down with it. All right. The last 3 cars, pretty good. Last 3 cars here. First one being Drift Party Mater. Now, this is actually a new release for 2025, believe it or not. It's the exact same frontal packaging as we saw when he was released in 2023 as a single. He was also released in a 2-pack with Dragon Lightning McQueen, and now he is getting another single release here in 2025. Again, the front of the package is exactly the same as 2023 with the As Seen in Tokyo Mater there himself, Drift Party Mater, who is basically damaged Tokyo Mater because he's missing the wing, he's missing some of the side skirts and whatnot, and obviously his hood, side view mirrors. But on the back, that is what's different. You get a glimpse at the other 3 Tokyo Mater releases of 2025. Man, it pays to be Komodo right now, just surrounded by women. Cho and Komodo. He could have been surrounded by another one, Bye Bye Car, who was canceled so sadly this year. But yeah, still ended up getting Cho and Kayandi, who were new variants, and yeah. We'll see what they do next year, if anything, for Tokyo Mater. I could kind of see them just not doing any more because, again, as I've always theorized, they will never go back to anything past or before 2013 in terms of re-releases. So if Tokyo Mater, if a character got re-released in 2013, 14, 15, or 16 in the Walmart exclusive Toons line, it is eligible to be re-released now. If it was only released in 2010, it must stay in the past. Bye Bye Car would have broke that trend until she got canceled. The only character left that would be able, there are 2 actually, it's Kaorisu and either Teki or Paki, whichever one was in that 3-pack. And then they truly would have no one else left to do from that era and would have to dig back into 2010 if they wanted to release any new ones. So yeah, I could totally see them doing Kaorisu, though. That one would make a lot of sense. Komodo, though, was re-released this year after debuting last year. But yeah, Drift Party Mater, lots of metal on this one. Actually, more than the Chinese version. I like Drift Party Mater a lot. It's a pretty popular release, so I don't expect this one to hang around the pegs all that much. And yeah, the Thailand variant of him that I reviewed a couple years ago now is pretty good. So check out that video if you missed it. Another Thailand variant, and that is High Impact, who debuted this year in case U and now is back for her 2nd appearance. Looking good. Another variant that I liked actually a decent amount. Not as much as Fishtail's variant, but still pretty good. And yeah, she was very rare. I barely found any of her except at Disney World, in which I was there during the period they got in Case U. So, I mean, it was just plentiful everywhere. But other than that, not too widely available at Target or Walmart. So this will give people an opportunity to claim her yet again. She was in the case with Masha Elswrench and Cho, Present Mater, Cam Spinner. I was about to say Ka Spinner. What is that? That'd be actually kind of cool. Speaking of which, there's Cam Spinner. Yeah, like a hybrid between Cam Spinner and Ka Risu. Ka Spinner. Whoa. I don't know why they don't put Jodon Jackson on the back of any of these packages. They probably, like Slim Hood, you know, they're like, yeah, it's a Cars 1 release, right? And then they were just like, yeah, you know, I don't know if that was actually right. And Jodon Jackson's like kind of similar. And I don't really want to take a guess again, so we'll just ignore him. And so we don't have to really pin ourselves in a corner on that. And here we have none other than Eugene Carbureski, the Golden Goose. Many people's #1 release of 2025. I can't imagine. Eugene's first release in 11 years after receiving a single release in 2016. And as time has gone on, the rarest Piston Cup racer has changed. You know, at one point it was kind of Misty Motorcraft or Krusty Rotor, but then they get re-releases, and then it kind of becomes Johnny Blamer for maybe a bit of period there. And now it is swung to Eugene Carbureski for a couple years, but we'll see how this changes things. This might kind of stabilize all Piston Cup racers, none of them being overly expensive and rare. But yeah, this is awesome, guys. I'm very excited to review him here soon in a couple days on Saturday. I am relieved that the card back is not mint at all, so I have no qualms about tearing into this guy and reviewing him, comparing him to the Motor Speedway of the South version over there. But yeah, I don't want to show him off too much because we'll save it for that. Oh my God. Ooh, what is that? Oh my goodness. What is that stock image? That looks straight from the Shadow Realm. I don't know, guys. I don't know what to say. I think this was on the poster, so I shouldn't be too surprised, but this is ugly. It's way too dark. The eyes looked messed up. Just use the old Ryan Shield stock image, for crying out loud. That is a jump scare and a half right there. It almost looks like it doesn't belong. It looks like a fan art image because of how poorly drawn the eye line is. Whatever. Whatever. At least they put a new release on the back. There you have it, guys. Case X. Eugene Carbureski is back after a long sabbatical. Let me know in the comment section below, who is your favorite car from the case? For me, it's probably going to be, I guess it really for me should be Luigi and Guido. Because Eugene's a re-release, doesn't do a whole lot for me. I'm excited to take a look at the Thailand variant, review the differences and all that. But as a collector, for 19 years since the beginning, re-release multiple times over. We have to remember, even though he has not been released since 2016, he was released a couple times before then in a launcher, rubber tires, and I think maybe another release in there somewhere. But definitely one of the least released Piston Cup racers across the last 19 years. Either way, guys, not a bad selection here from the case, and some great re-inclusions. Drift Party Mater is nice. High Impact is nice. Ryan Shields, Jonathan Gearson, all really nice re-inclusions. Guys, let me know your favorite in the comments below, and I will see you guys on Saturday for the review of this guy, or if you're watching this in the future, you could watch whatever you want next. This review, any car you can imagine is probably on my channel. I will see you guys next time. Bye now.